Guys, this is one of the things that is probably important to talk about after trail maintenance. I know that it takes a lot of time, it is cumbersome, but I know that for me anyway, it just saves a lot of wear and tear down the road. Rotors particularly, that's why we're looking at the front brakes here. This is driver's side, and looking at, after some recent off-roading, that I've had squeaky brakes. Knew that it was associated with the dirt and accumulation that has gotten in the pads and the rotors and the caliper, just everything getting gummed up. So I want to kind of do a visual demonstration about why it's important to do this. And so I don't have to remove the calipers in its entirety, but as you can see here, there's a significant amount of dried, caked dirt that's right here, and to get that removed is going to be important. Help prolong the life of the calipers, help keep them from seizing up. And I go ahead and remove the pads, because it's going to be important to get all this stuff disassembled, and it doesn't take but a second. And you can already see where there's still just a lot of dirt and grime and stuff. So we're going to actually clean all this up. And some people are going to frown on this, but all I'm doing is just taking some light sandpaper and just helping to eliminate some of the dirt that's on the edge here. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing any damage or anything to these pads. Just quick once over, getting in here in the groove, getting any kind of dirt and accumulation out of there. Going around the edges, it's going to be important, I think, to get that dirt out of there. It's not right now anything on that edge that's going to be problematic, but I don't want that dirt coming off and getting back between the pad and the caliper. So that's really what I'm focused on right now. And all I'm doing is just kind of real quick taking a pat around, getting brake dust off and just the dirt from around the edge of the pad. I want to take these sliders off too and get those cleaned out. As you can see, there is a significant amount of dirt, stuff that's gotten in there, so we want to get rid of that as well. That's got to go. Top and bottom, and these just pop off. There we go. Again, really got a lot of dirt and stuff in there, so we want to take care of those as well. And of course, brake cleaner, want to use that, clean those pads off, and then we're just going to blow it off. And I'll go through, believe it or not, a can per side, so there's a whole lot of cleaning that actually occurs with this. And so I say, if you're going to do at least the front, have it minimal 2 cans to do a good job. 3 just for a backup, depending on how bad everything is. And I try to spray everything down, even the rotor. I'll even peel the rubber back here just a little bit, because some of that dirt does get in there. On the other side, doesn't look like it did this side, but the other side was really bad. I can see some right here. You may not see it from the camera angle, but there's definitely some dirt and stuff that's gotten in between the rotor and actually the bracket. Clean off where those guides are going to go. Clean out inside the calipers. So the question is, maybe, how often do you do this? I think if you have a perpetual squeak brake noise, I think definitely you should pull them off, inspect, find out what's going on. I think that's going to be pretty critical, just to make sure that you don't have pads that are sticking or don't have another problem going on. I think that you should do it maybe at least twice a year, or if you see a significant amount of water crossings. But I'd prefer to do that, if nothing else, just to see where you're at. I don't rely on somebody else to do my maintenance. I do that myself, like a lot of you. So I think that it would be really critical to do that. Some of you probably do that anyway. Do your own maintenance, check your brakes, so you already kind of have this in your schedule to do that. But absolutely, when my brakes feel different, or I'm getting the noise, so I'm hearing it or feeling it somehow on the pedal, then I'm definitely going to be checking things out. Notice I'm keeping it to the outside, not the inside to the rotors. It's going to spread towards that section, but I'm doing this just really thin, not wanting to gum this up. You don't want to do too much, and I'm going to, as I get this, I'm going to spread it out more, but it's also going to, some of this is going to be wiped off as I install it. It's not going to hurt a little bit on those either. Alright, I'm going to put the brakes back in. And that both sides are releasing. Of course, before we put everything away, we want to lube up where the calipers make contact with the pads. So I'm just going to put a thin layer on the outside of the caliper. It takes less grease than lubricating the whole back side of the brake pad, which is just going to allow accumulation of dirt and garbage. So I want to minimize that. Again, I don't do the entire back side of the pad. I'm going to lubricate just the outer part of the caliper. So I'm going to get all the way down in there, and all the way up to the edge, and that should get it. Now all we need to do is make sure that the pads are in there properly. Bring that back into place. This isn't something that I've torqued down. Give it a couple of duggas. I want to check and make sure that the pins are sliding smoothly. Seems like it is, and that also helps make sure that the pads are moving. They're not sticking or anything. Alright. So that gets everything together. So that sums it up. Any questions or comments, put them below, and I'll get back to you. Thanks, guys. Take care.